So is Cronos the New Dawn worth playing? After the masterpiece that was Blubber Team's Silent Hill 2 remake, expectations were sky high for their next horror project. The question on everyone's mind was simple. Could they create something genuinely terrifying from scratch, or were they destined to live in the shadow of Konami's blueprint? Well, after spending close to 20 hours trudging through mutant-infested Polish wastelands in a chunky diving suit, I've got answers. What hits you first in Cronos is just how vulnerable you feel. Picture this, you're creeping down a corridor lined with pulsing biomass that looks like Satan's intestinal tract. Your pistol has 3 bullets left, and you can hear something wet and angry shambling toward you from the darkness ahead. Your character, the Traveler, moves with all the grace of a deep-sea diver trying to sprint through molasses. Every step feels deliberate, every corner could be your last, and that tension, it never lets up. The setup is Dead Space meets Netflix's Dark, and honestly, it works. You're hunting through time itself, literally extracting people's consciousness from the past to solve the mystery of how humanity got so spectacularly screwed. The time travel mechanic isn't just window dressing either. You'll witness the apocalypse firsthand, then jump back to the aftermath where mutated freaks called orphans are using human corpses as all-you-can-eat buffets. It's grim, it's fascinating, and it kept me digging through every audio log and scrap of paper I could find. But let's talk about what makes Cronos genuinely special. The Merge system is brilliant horror design. These orphans don't just attack you, they actively consume fallen bodies to evolve mid-fight. Miss a few shots, fail to burn a corpse with your flamethrower, and suddenly you're facing a towering abomination that can tank shotgun blasts and spit acid. I watched in horror as one enemy absorbed so many corpses it became this nightmarish kaiju that I literally never saw again because I made damn sure to never let that happen twice. Combat feels perfectly balanced between empowerment and desperation. Your guns charge up for devastating shots, but those 2 seconds of vulnerability while you're aiming can feel like an eternity when 3 mutants are charging at you. Bullets pierce through multiple enemies, so clever positioning can turn a hopeless situation into a satisfying multi-kill. But resources are tight enough that every missed shot stings. Every wasted healing item feels like a mistake you'll regret later. The atmosphere deserves serious credit too. Polish ruins twisted by temporal anomalies create these dreamlike, fractured environments that feel genuinely unsettling. One minute you're in a decaying apartment block, the next you're floating through zero-gravity sections that would make Isaac Clarke nervous. The environmental storytelling is top-notch, with bloodstained interrogation rooms and hallways lined with riot police limbs, painting a picture of civilization's final, desperate moments. Now, here's where things get complicated. Cronos has some serious rough edges that keep it from reaching Silent Hill 2 levels of excellence. The padding is real and it's noticeable. I lost count of how many times I had to slowly squeeze through those biomass corridors I mentioned earlier. What feels horrifying the first time becomes tedious by the 5th. There's a solid hour-long section where you're just bringing train power generators online, and even the Traveler herself comments on how repetitive it's getting. The technical issues don't help either. On PlayStation 5, I regularly had to stomp item crates multiple times before my hits would register, which is infuriating when you're surrounded by acid-spitting monsters. Gas canisters sometimes refuse to explode on the first shot, wasting precious ammo. Worst of all, I got stuck in geometry after a brutal boss fight and had to replay the entire encounter because the exit door decided I wasn't allowed to leave. Boss fights are a mixed bag too. While they create genuinely stressful encounters that had me scrambling for every last bullet, most of them boil down to shooting 3 glowing weak spots. More frustratingly, several bosses get recycled throughout the campaign. Fighting the same towering biomass golem multiple times feels lazy, especially in a genre that thrives on escalating threats and fresh scares. The scares themselves land differently than you might expect. If you're coming off Silent Hill 2 expecting psychological terror that gets under your skin, you'll be disappointed. Cronos is more Dead Space than Silent Hill, relying on jump scares and overwhelming enemy encounters rather than atmospheric dread. The monsters crash through walls like the Kool-Aid Rian, but they rarely achieve that bone-deep fear that makes you check the shadows behind your couch. Here's the thing about player reception. Both sides are absolutely right. Horror veterans who wanted Blubber Team to push psychological boundaries might find Cronos too action-heavy and predictable. But players who love the resource management and tactical combat of Dead Space will find plenty to sink their teeth into. The game runs about 15 to 20 hours, has New Game Plus with multiple endings, and features some genuinely clever progression systems where extracted souls give you gameplay buffs. The Essence system deserves special mention. Every consciousness you extract not just advances the story, it literally haunts your suit, providing unique combat bonuses while occasionally causing disturbing hallucinations. You can only carry 3 at a time, forcing tough choices about which abilities matter most for your playstyle. It's a perfect marriage of narrative and mechanics that few games pull off this smoothly. So, here's my verdict. If you're the kind of player who lives for methodical survival horror where every bullet counts and every enemy encounter feels like a tactical puzzle, Cronos delivers in spades. The merge system alone makes combat more strategic than most games in the genre, and the time travel mystery kept me invested even when the pacing stumbled. If you want pure psychological terror or groundbreaking innovation, this isn't your game. But if you want a solid, tense, beautifully ugly journey through a sci-fi hellscape with some of the most satisfying resource management in recent memory, Cronos earns its place on your wishlist. It's not the new dawn of survival horror, but it's definitely proof that Blubber team has found their voice beyond remakes. Such is our calling indeed. What did you think of Cronos the New Dawn? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more horror game coverage. Until next time, keep those flamethrowers looted.